My own father stated, "You're old enough to figure it out," and departed with his new wife and her children. Can you imagine being 14? And your own father drives you to a train station, tells you to wait, and then just walks away with his new family? For 6 terrifying hours, I sat there, abandoned, while he was posting selfies from a luxury resort. But here's the twist. He thought he was discarding a burden. Instead, he was setting a $10 million inheritance free. And that betrayal? It was the best thing that ever happened to me. The car ride to Central Station was thick with things unsaid, like breathing through wet wool. I pressed my forehead against the cool window, watching the familiar streets blur past for what I didn't know would be the last time. My worn backpack sat between my feet, stuffed with the few essentials for what Dad had vaguely called a little trip to sort things out. Dad? Are we going to be back before Monday? I tried to pierce the silence. I have that history presentation, the one about the Civil War I've been working on for weeks. His knuckles whitened on the steering wheel. You'll figure it out, Mia. A knot of dread tightened in my stomach. This wasn't the dad who used to help me with school projects. This was the stranger he'd become since marrying Sharon 6 months ago. Dad, just stop talking for a minute, okay? I need to think. I swallowed hard, tasting the bitter coffee I'd grabbed at Mom's. She'd been passed out on the couch again, empty wine bottles creating a glass city on the coffee table. Dad had looked at her with such disgust, muttering something under his breath. The train station loomed ahead, its red brick facade like something from an old movie. Dad pulled into the drop-off zone, not even bothering to park. My stomach twisted. Aren't you coming in with me? I asked as he popped the trunk. He was already out, hauling my backpack from the back with unnecessary force. I scrambled to follow, my legs unsteady in the cold November wind. Sharon had said my thin jacket made me look homeless at Thanksgiving dinner. Here, Dad said, shoving the backpack at me. His eyes darted toward the entrance, then his watch. You're 14, Mia, old enough to figure things out. Figure what out? Dad, you haven't even told me where I'm going. That's when I saw them. Sharon stood just inside the glass doors, her perfectly manicured hand resting on her daughter Brittany's shoulder. Brittany, 12, blonde like her mom, wore a designer coat I could only dream about. Sharon's 8-year-old son, Connor, played on his phone, oblivious. Sharon caught my eye and smiled. That cold, triumphant smile I'd seen her practice in mirrors when she thought no one was looking. Dad? My voice was barely a whisper, a tiny, terrified sound. He was already walking toward them, not looking back. His hand found Sharon's waist, pulling her close as he kissed her cheek. Connor looked up from his game long enough for Dad to ruffle his hair affectionately, just like he used to ruffle mine. Dad! I called louder, panic rising in my... Full story video added in below.